The girl who forgave her rapist, a story of unbelievable grace. They called her a victim. Some called her foolish. But no one could deny the fire in her eyes when she stood before the man who broke her and whispered the last thing he ever expected to hear. I forgive you. This is the powerful story of Ruth Asamota, a survivor, a warrior, and a walking example of divine strength. I never thought my life would be defined by one night. But it was. I was just 21. A final year student at the University of Benin. Focused. Reserved. Quiet. The type of girl who carried tracts in her handbag and woke up to pray at 5 a.m. I wasn't the loud type. Didn't party. Didn't dress flashy. Didn't drink or even wear lip gloss. But evil doesn't check checklists before it knocks. And that night, it came for me. It was during an ASUU strike. A 2-week disruption in the school calendar. Most students traveled home, but I stayed behind to catch up on projects and prepare for exams. The campus was almost empty. But I didn't feel afraid. The library was my safe space. The road from there to my hostel? Familiar. Until it wasn't. That evening, I noticed someone trailing me. At first, I ignored it. Until I felt a hand grip my arm, and everything went black. He dragged me into an abandoned building behind Hall 3. I screamed, fought, cried. But he was stronger. When he was done, he zipped his jeans, looked at me like trash, and walked away. I lay there on the dusty ground, my body throbbing. Something inside me shattered. Not just my body, my identity, my faith, my entire reality. I stumbled back to my hostel, bleeding and broken. I didn't know who to tell. I just wanted to disappear. But I spoke up. And I wish I hadn't. One girl asked, "What were you wearing?" Another said, "You're lucky he didn't kill you." Even my campus fellowship leader told me, "God allowed it. Maybe to test your faith." And just like that, I vanished. People saw me, but they didn't see me. I stopped attending fellowship. Stopped reading my Bible. Stopped singing. I didn't lose faith in God. I just didn't understand him anymore. For 6 months, I wore a mask. Pretending. Smiling. But inside, I was dying. Until one Sunday morning, something inside me snapped. I walked into a small church down the street, wearing a hoodie and carrying a heavy heart. The preacher's voice cut through the fog in my mind. "Some of you are holding on to poison and calling it pain. But God is waiting for you to release it, so he can heal you." Those words cracked the dam I had built. I fell to my knees and wept like a child. I didn't get up healed. But I got up heard. Seen. Held by a love I had forgotten. That moment became the beginning of a long, painful, but beautiful journey. I started therapy. I joined a support group for survivors. I met women who looked like me, smiling on the outside, silently screaming on the inside. And I began to write. I wrote letters to myself, to God, and eventually, to him. Not to curse him, but to forgive him. Because I realized something. Forgiveness isn't about the person who hurt you. It's about the person you're becoming. 1 year later, I heard that he had been arrested. He'd assaulted another girl. This time, someone saw him and reported it. The police were calling previous victims to testify. My name was on that list. I almost said no. But something inside whispered, "This is your chance to finish the story." The courtroom was cold. So was my body. He sat in the dock, unshaved, cuffed, with the same dead eyes. When the judge called my name, I stood, hands trembling, knees weak, but voice steady. I told the court what he did to me. The night, the place, the pain. Then I turned to him and said, "You took something from me, but you will not take my future. You hurt me, but I am healed. I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I refuse to carry you anymore." Silence filled the room. He stared at me, and then, for the first time, he cried. I walked out of that courtroom 10 pounds lighter. Not because justice was served, but because grace had won. Forgiveness didn't erase the memory. It just robbed the memory of its power to control me. Today, I speak at women's conferences. I mentor young girls. I've written a book titled Whole Again. People ask, how did you do it? The answer is simple. God's grace carried me. I am not brave. I am not perfect. I am just someone who refused to bleed forever. My name is Ruth Asamota. I was raped. But I am not a victim. I am a survivor, a counselor, a voice for the silenced, a daughter of the King. And I chose forgiveness. I chose freedom. I chose God. To anyone watching this who's been through something dark, please hear me. Healing is not about forgetting. It's about remembering without bleeding. You don't have to carry that pain forever. You don't have to be okay today. You just have to believe that someday, you will be. And when that day comes, you'll know. Grace carried you there.